people talk about Donkey Kong Country, one of the levels that's going to come up are the minecart levels. Probably the water levels too, but the minecart levels seem to be very iconic of that series of games. And you can tell that they were popular, because man did they show up in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Oh my god, those were awful. I'm not looking forward to finishing that game. Yeah, the rocket levels are even worse, but I'm not even going to go there. So, let's look at some of the merchandise that was made for this iconic representation of the game. And the first thing I've ever found for it was this, it's not really even a wind-up figure, but it's a dasher figure, I guess you could call it. And there's no company info on this card, well, for Americans anyway. But I'll tell you who it's from in a minute. And it never got hung, so this is a mint card. And you can see that you push Diddy, and then it goes, and it can run off stuff. At first I thought that meant that if he bumped something, he'd turn around and go, but it's not that complicated. You can tell from the bottom. It's just a straightforward runner that whines with Diddy. We'll look at that again in a second. The next thing that I had found from this is this set, and it's really cool. I'm not sure who this company is, but they made some stuff for the Donkey Kong Country series, which is Super Donkey Kong in Japan, if you're wondering what that's all about. And this figure is a wind-up, and then it comes with a toxic barrel and a banana and DK barrel and a regular barrel, and then there's these tracks or rails that it goes on. And you can see that's Cranky's hut. It's pretty cool. And there's all these scenes from the game. It's kind of hard to show you. It's right there is all the little tracks, and there's a lake and Donkey Kong's house and some other scenes from the game. And you can place these things on the tracks, and these are different configurations for the tracks on the back. And just a really cool toy. And then here's the company. There's this big M right here, and that becomes important when we look at the next item, because they made that too. This next item is radio controlled. Well, not even radio controlled. It's just a what do you call what do you call a radio controlled toy that's not a radio controlled toy? Because it's a wired racer, I guess you'd call it, because it does show that it is tethered to the controller. And same M there. You guys can see that, same M. And the controllers and the batteries are pretty cool. Not really Donkey Kong related, but just cool to see old batteries. I don't know. So that's the same sculpt from the last figures we saw, it's just a larger version. And then this version has a little light on it, and you can see that the light works when it's on. So that is that cool toy. And I just found this actually. I didn't know that it even existed, and then you're just searching along. I don't even think I was searching Donkey Kong, and it's like, what is that? Click, buy, done. Let's learn about it. So, looking at this figure again from the first one, years later they came out with a Donkey Kong show, and look, the figure came back. Same exact sculpt and everything. Directions changed a little though. You can see I can hook to the other carts that are in this set, and I'll show you all those in a minute. And that, you push Diddy again to go. And this you can see is B10, and there are a lot of figures in this set. And I found out through this set that this was made by Takara, because at the very bottom, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it says Takara on there. So even though it doesn't say Takara on here, well, it might. I just don't know Japanese. So let's look at the other figures in this set. And it encompasses the figures up to Donkey Kong Country 3. No, Donkey Kong Country 2, because Kiddy Kong isn't in it. So, and Wrinkly Kong didn't make it either into this cartoon. But just so you know, this did come over to America. This Donkey Kong show is called Donkey Kong and the Crystal Coconut. They aired it on TV once. Based on those ratings, they decided not to continue. But they did continue in Japan. This is much bigger in Japan. And it is weird that Donkey Kong, the figure, is B04. And he does. All these figures come with minecarts. So you can get a good look at the first minecart. And they all hook to each other, but they all come with the same cart. And Donkey Kong's B04 because on the back you can see the rest of the set. And the playset that Cranky Kong comes with actually is B01. And then the plane that Funky Kong drives is B02. And then this little bridge here that I also have comes with a regular Kremling, and that's B03. And those are the only way to get those figures, which sucks. I hate it when they do that. But let's look at the rest of them. This is B05, is Diddy. Pretty classic. His hat was really big in this series. I mean, long. Not like it was popular or exciting. Dixie Kong got a little makeover. I don't really like it. The tied-off shirt and the flower and the little different beret and all that, but whatever. And here she has a little ponytail back there. But if you hated that, you'll loathe this. This is Candy Kong. And man, they wrecked her pretty good. Headband, weird hair, sandals, just weird stuff going on there. I'm not sure why they changed her so drastically. Also, as is per usual with these crappy cartoons that get made, they added figures, or added characters, and this is a guy called Bluster Kong. He's got this little patch of hair, and he's all bald and everything. He's got cufflinks, and, you know, just a crappy character that they had to add for whatever reason. And then Eddie, the mean old Yeti with his snow hat and Donkey Kong look. And that was probably just adding characters to the show with simple model swaps for because it was a CG show. It wasn't a cartoon, it was a CG show. Which I guess is a cartoon, but to pick nits, it was a computer-generated animated show. Okay, and the last few items that I have here. K. Rool is 06. And they changed him a little bit too. His crown's a little longer and his belly's a little different and stuff like that. But he's still nuts. And then 7 was Dixie and 8 is Crusher. And they didn't change him much, which is nice because he was a great character to begin with. And then they had Clump. It's 19. And then they started adding a whole bunch of other playsets. And one more character, here's Cannon. And on the back of Cannon's card, we can see the things that they added. Yeah. And they had this little extra bit right here that attaches to the playset. And they added a helicopter, which was stupid, and another bridge with another Kremling, and all that stuff. And then you can see how all these carts connect here. And that Donkey Kong and Diddy are in the first one, and they can pull the other ones. And you don't get other mine carts with Cranky and Funky when you buy the other toys, so they can't ride along. But whatever. So let's see. Crusher was 8, Clump was 9. 10 was the minecart. Bluster is 11. Candy's 12. And Eddie is 13. And then Cannon is 14. And there's 14 figures. And then 15 was the additional. And I'm not sure who that comes with. Oh, just another Donkey Kong figure, it looks like. And then looks like another Bluster Kong. I don't know if you can see that really close. Another Bluster Kong comes with the helicopter there. And then another Kremling rounds out the set of 17 toys. So obviously that show is a lot bigger. Sorry, that was my phone. Obviously, that set is a show of how popular that show was. I mean, for the Japanese, did a lot better, had a lot more episodes than we did. But eventually canceled out because it was just too different from the Donkey Kong series. But thanks for watching my stuff for the Minecart Donkey Kong Country stuff.